There's a hanger in this.
Yep.
Look, that's what you use the underarm zipper for. Okay. All right, so we are at Outdoor Retailer. We are outside. We have some snowflakes falling right now. You're gonna have to trust me when I say that the Rocky Mountains are right behind me. But we're gonna be talking about some of the coolest new ski gear that is coming out next winter, winter 20 and 21. We're gonna start off with some skis. So we have Line's Blade. The Blade is a really cool new ski for Line. Line has sort of traditionally and historically been more of a freestyle, powder-oriented ski brand, but the Blade is all about carving and turning. Line did a couple cool things with this ski. The big thing is that they put 2 different sheets of metal in here. Normally a ski company is gonna stack those sheets and they're gonna run from tip to tail, but Line put them in the same layer with a gap in between them. And what that does is the metal provides a lot of power and energy return and stability, but the gap allows the ski to flex really well in the middle. So as you're sort of like powering through a turn, the ski is gonna flex and you're gonna be able to get a really, really tight, nice turn. Another cool thing is that this ski actually has a huge amount of surface area to it. Normally that might be a powder ski that has a big surface area, but this is the one, and that just helps it sort of plow through crud and bumps and sort of anything you're gonna encounter on more of like a front side part of the mountain. But yeah, that is the Blade. It is all about turning and carving, which is sort of the roots of skiing, and it's cool to see a company like Line make a ski that's sort of dedicated to this, you know, very basic principle of skiing that is all about fun. The Blade is gonna be available next fall, going into next winter. It's gonna be $900, and that is it. All right, so next we're talking about Black Diamond's new Recon Access mitt. This mitt is really cool. They designed it in collaboration with Chris Burkhardt, who is a very well-known adventure travel photographer. And there's a couple cool things about this. One, it's just like a big burly mitten with a full gaiter and a lot of insulation in there, so it's super warm. It even has this little zipper here where you can shove a hand warmer up in there, and that's sort of right above all your veins, so that actually putting the hand warmer there makes your fingers up here super warm. That's actually the best place to put a hand warmer. The other cool thing that came directly from Mr. Burkhardt is this zipper, which you can undo and then poke your hand out. So for him, he needs that so he can get at his camera and be able to press all the buttons and turn the dials. It also has a touchscreen compatible finger on there, which is nice. Then you can put it right back in, zip it up super quickly. And then you're ready to go skiing again. So that just sort of lets you, even if you're not a pro photographer, that's nice. So you can just get at your phone really quickly, or, doing zippers and getting into pockets is kind of tough with a big mitten like this one. So that just makes anything you're gonna be doing with your hands while you're skiing really easy to do. So you don't have to be a professional photographer to get a lot of really good use out of a mitten like this. The Black Diamond Recon Access mitten costs $130. It's gonna be out this coming fall 2020. So this is Backcountry Access's Tracker 4 beacon. It's an avalanche beacon, so if you're going backcountry skiing, you're gonna have one of these in your pocket, and everybody else is gonna have one in their pocket. So in case of a burial in an avalanche, this is how you get found if you are buried in the snow. Everybody else turns theirs on, and it zones in on wherever you are, and then they dig you out. The Tracker has been one of the most, if not the most popular beacon for years, and this is the newest iteration of it. This sort of combines the best qualities of the Tracker 2 and the Tracker 3, the two previous versions of this. It just sort of upgrades everything. It's got a brighter screen, it's a little bit louder, which is important. As you're doing your final search over the snow, it actually has a faster response time too. So that helps you pinpoint exactly above the snow where the person is a lot more efficiently. And when someone is buried in an avalanche, every single millisecond really counts. Another cool thing about this is that it's got this rubberized sort of shell on it. Like you can chuck this on the ground and it's gonna pretty much bounce right back up in your hand. Well, maybe not that far. But it's super durable and you don't really have to like, you know, be all dainty with it. You can just use it and not worry about it getting dinged or anything. And really this thing is just gonna help you be more confident going into avalanche prone terrain in the backcountry. The Tracker 4 is $390 and this comes out in fall 2020. All right, so next up we have POC's Cornea Solar Switch goggle. So with goggles, interchangeable lenses have been around for a while, which lets you have one pair of goggles with multiple lenses. So if it's cloudy or sunny, you can swap your lenses out very quickly. You don't need to do that with this goggle. There are some goggles that use this technology called electrochromism, which with an electric charge lets you change the tint with the push of a button. POC does that same thing in this goggle, but just with the power of the sun. So these use solar energy to change lens tints instantly, essentially. So you don't have to switch your lenses, you don't have to carry an extra lens in your jacket. You just put these on and they're good for any lighting conditions that you'll encounter on the mountain. So these goggles are $450, which is very expensive for a goggle, but you're essentially getting a couple pairs of goggles in one with that liquid crystal technology. And these are gonna be out in fall 2020 for next winter. Lastly, we have Klattermussen's Loader pullover. No idea if I'm pronouncing that right, because it's a Swedish word. But this is a really cool ski shell layer anorak. Klattermussen is a really cool company based in Sweden, and everything they make just has this incredibly unique design element to it. Sustainability is also at the foundation of the brand. Everything they make uses recycled materials, and they're just really thoughtful across the board. This is an anorak. It does have a short sort of quarter zip, which makes it easy to get into, but also cool is that it has a full side zipper underneath the arm. So you can use that to get into it, but also while you're skiing, especially if you're hiking or touring or whatever, you can open that up and that acts as a vent as well. You know, normally on a jacket, you're gonna expect some pockets, some hand pockets especially, but this jacket has the pockets right here in the middle. And you can also open those up and there's mesh on the inside and those also act as vents. So this is a really great layer for being at the ski resort, but also if you're, you know, backcountry hiking or touring. And also it's just one of the more unique jackets that we have seen at Outdoor Retailer so far.